This is President Donald Trump recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and this is the United Nations rejecting that decision after the controversy it caused in Palestine. But why is this such a controversial issue? When talking about this subject, educator John Green said,
"It's not about whether to fast during Yom Kippur or Ramadan, it's about land."
It starts back in 1915, when Sir Henry McMahon promised to form an Arab state in Palestine, on the condition that they helped the British fight against the Ottoman Empire. 2 years later, the British promised of the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, to the Zionist Jewish sect. But wait, who are the Zionists?
It's important to keep in mind that most Zionists were secular Jews, so they imagined Israel as a state for Jews more than a Jewish state.
With the war now over, Britain, under a mandate by the League of Nations, established a colony until 1948, when control was handed over to the newly formed United Nations. By this time the Jewish population had increased dramatically, many of whom had evicted native Arabs from their homes by buying the land from the government. Because of increasing tensions, the UN decided to partition the region into countries, Palestine and Israel. However, this never came into effect with the Arab-Israeli war, resulting in the further loss of Palestinian land and the start of the Arab refugee crisis. These two opposing countries fell into a Cold War until 1967 with the Egyptian blockade of Straits of Tiran, which halted Israel's exportation of oil. They retaliated with the bombing of Egyptian airfields and the invasion of the Gaza Strip and the Sinai. The Egyptian leader Gamal Abdel Nasser induced Syria and Jordan to counterattack the invasion. This resulted in the occupation of East Jerusalem, the West Bank as the Golan Heights. 6 days after the war had started, a ceasefire was signed. Israel settlers moved onto Arab land, with over 400,000 native Arabs becoming refugees. The UN has called for the Israel government to return this land to the Palestinian people. However, the Israelis said they don't recognize the Palestinians as a nation, and to this day they still approach onto Palestinian land, claiming that it is their right as a nation, as any other, to provide land for their people to live off. And with the 100th anniversary of Britain's promise to establish a home for Arabs in Palestine just been, have we failed them?